following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC. Always love the clothes of Jimmy. Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity. We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. I'm super excited. We have world-renowned director Uwe Boll from Germany coming on. He was actually a guest on the show on July 9th, 2014. I'm kind of going back to other guests because he's got a whole bunch of stuff going on right now, and he's a superstar, and I'm super excited about having him. We also have Elizabeth Johnson come on, actress, writer, producer, and I think it's going to be a great show. Before we get started, though, let's say hi to our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
What's left of me? As you know, I had knee surgery, knee replacement surgery, but I'm walking fine. After the show was over last week, our producer, Dean, wished me a happy birthday, and we were on the phone, and as I was walking, I didn't see the tripod sticking out for the lighting, and I tripped on the tripod and hit all the lights and fell into the camera. Of course, the camera wasn't on to get all that wonderful stuff. Anyway, guess what I did to myself?
He just ruined himself.
Could you believe that? That's from sliding down a piece of furniture. I slid down not to hurt my knee. So look at that arm. It looks like a tattoo. And now I know I'd never have a tattoo because it's annoying.
Yeah, really.
So that's what happened last week. So you see, not everything that goes on behind the cameras, we hide.
But he saved his knee.
Yeah,
he protected his knee while he was falling down, so he got hurt all over his arms and his elbows.
And I sprained
his thumb, but he did not hurt his knee, which was good.
So I have to tell you once again, if this operation is not a necessity, don't do it. It's not fun. It's a horrible procedure and long training at the
Physical therapy, and as you start to feel better, they hurt you more because that's what they have to do. They have to hurt you in order to get you working. It's just a nightmare, and I'm sure that people have had it done. The honest people tell you it's a nightmare, but of course the bullshit artists say, "Oh, it's nothing. Oh, I went through it. I was running in 2 weeks." Yeah, I want to see it. I agree. I've had 3 of them and a manipulation. It's terrible. Yesterday, we were both having a hard time at therapy. They're trying to get you to bend it. And I actually go to the doctor right after the show today. So let's say hi to the chat room. So the chat room's starting to fill up. Stefan Bell is there. Please send our best to Tina. Lady Lake Music is in there. She's fabulous. Isaac Stewart's in the chat room, you guys. He's a friend of Ron and I's. He's also in the Clown Motel 3 movies. Clown Motel 3, I think he's in Clown Motel 2. He's a really well-known clown actor, and he's joined us for the first time, so we want to welcome him to the chat room.
Who is it?
You know him.
Well, give his name.
I just did. Isaac Stewart. And he says hi. He's in the chat room. So hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
What do you expect from a man who's broken? Has been broken over and over again. I'm lucky I'm here. This dog doesn't stop annoying me.
Here's Astro.
And I love my dog, so you know that I'm in a bad mood. Because if my dog is annoying me, that's bad time.
Here's Astro, everybody.
I just don't want him to jump on me because
we don't want him jumping on the knee.
He hurts on knee and my arm. You know, he doesn't know.
So he just hurts us.
Yes.
Anyway, I hope I can give you a funny show and a good show. I don't work well when I'm not well. No one does.
We want to thank everybody though for tuning in. Hey Juan, can you get rid of the Dark Frights thing under there? I don't know how to get rid of that. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. Last week's show did really well, and I think today's show is going to do extremely well. Yes, this is Astro. They're saying in the
that's my little boy, my baby.
And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can listen to us. We're on Acast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. You want to let him go? iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Amazon Prime, and 360 TVN. We're working on building our social media profiles. So Lady Lake Music and I have both joined Pinterest and Lemon 8. So please look for us. This is Jimmy Star, and I think she's Lady Lake Music or Lady Lake Entertainment. Look for us on those two platforms because we're tying everything together for film promotions for the movies that Ron and I are going to start working on, and Cindy's working on it in the near future.
What are we working on?
Movies.
What movies?
The Red River.
Red River, Blue River, Green River, what river? They talk about rivers. I see shit. I get scripts. I don't know when. I hear money, then there's no money, then there's money. You can have this business. I'm telling you right now. I'm an actor. I would never be a producer. I would never have to want to go after people for their money to invest in my film because it is a bigger nightmare than my friggin' knee. Trust me. A super nightmare. People are afraid to let go of their money. All they want to know is how much do I make at the end? Baby, you got to take a chance. You got to invest. You don't make money at the end. If they did, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be making money at the end.
They do make money at the end.
They don't.
Actors don't.
Hardly ever. Hardly. I'm on a couple of contracts where I have points. I make money at the end.
I know, but those films aren't released, so you can't make any money at the end.
I never made a nickel at the end.
Well, I think that my films make money, and so don't worry about it. And you can just invest in the films that we are making because we have great films coming up, and we have 4 of them, I think, almost ready to go to start working on, with the 5th one getting a lot of interest as of yesterday.
Which one?
My Porn Star Wife.
My Porn Star Wife, surprise.
So My Porn Star Wife, I have people interested in that one. We brought on another producer who's produced really huge, films, and to help us with it. And looks like we're going to be going soon with Zombie with a Shotgun. And I also have interest in Bunny Man, The Legend of Bunny Man. So could be a potentially 6 films that we go from job to job to job. And that's what we want to do. We want to work.
And the film I wrote, of course, it doesn't exist. It's like, kick it aside. Everybody loves it, it seems, but Jimmy.
That's not true. I pitched it to everybody. I can only go with what I pitch. People ask me, I pitch it to every person that we talk to financially, but they're just not interested yet. Not yet. But anyway, I think we're going to have a fun show today. I think the movie stuff is going to get going. There's lots of good movies out. A lot of the movies suck. All these new movies coming out, they're terrible. And I think that we'll get to talk a little bit with our first guest, Uwe Boll, about that because he's super funny, and you guys want to follow him on Instagram. He's at @UWE_BOLL_films. And he's actually worked with a bunch of people who we've met at red carpet premieres and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to having him back on again.
Good.
I think it's going to be great. And I want to talk to him about his last Instagram post once we actually get him on, but I don't want to talk about it until we get him on.
What incident? What incident?
Instagram post.
Oh,
Instagram post. So in the meantime, what's up, chat room? People are starting to show up in the chat room, and Don just joined us. Hello, Don Hinton. Hope your shoulder's doing better. Stefan Bell is in there. Like I said, I'm going to call you after the show. Lady Lake is always busy doing stuff and promoting David Martinez and Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli, who you know because you like them very much, and their daughter. I don't know what else, because you usually talk during this time. So do you have anything you want? You usually talk now at the beginning. Would you like to tell anybody anything, or you want me to?
I used to talk when I was young.
No, that's not true. It's just that
I used to talk when I wasn't broken.
We used to tell everybody all the events that we're going to, except for that we haven't been to any events because we haven't.
Yes,
been
I've been to wonderful events. I've been to 50 doctors every event. I go to more doctors than anyone. I'm felt up by more people. I'm injected by more people. I'm x-rayed by more people. I'm everything by more people. I have the most active, busy social life anyone can have. Doctors, nurses, doctors. I have built a fan club at Eisenhower Hospital. I have, Jimmy, really. They love me. The doctors wait for me to come in with my humor, right? So I tell them, how can I be humorous now when you hurt me, when you make me full of pain, and then you want to drug me up?
Wow.
So what do you expect from 85 years old? I think it's time I retire. In so much as I hate to retire, I think I should.
I don't think you should, because I think you'll get old quick if you retire.
I mean, how can you go on? I mean, 85, 95, 105? What am I going to do with 105?
Jane Fonda's working and Lily Tomlin.
Jane Fonda's juiced up with the right camera. They got a robot inside of her making her legs walk.
Yeah, because she had a knee replacement too, I think.
She had a knee, hip, twat, everything.
Twat, yeah.
Well, her twat was so stretched out, she had to have a tight one.
Yeah.
So she had a tight twat put in.
That's funny. Oh, B. Claudia just joined us too. Hey, B, how are you?
Hello, BB, baby.
She doesn't think you should retire.
What?
She said, no retiring in mind doesn't work, Ron. We'll always think about the world.
Right now.
He's in a bad mood.
No, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just depressed because I'm not doing what I do and I'm not enjoying who I am. It's always, Ron, Dr. So-and-so, Ron, I mean, Dr. 50,000 doctor. I'm sick of doctors. I hate them.
Well, hopefully we don't have to go to too many more. You only have a few more things to do.
The older you get, the more doctors you see until the final day. And then of course, they can't do anything for you. They say, okay, go home. And I love that. Go home and put your things together. When they tell you that. No, go home and put your affairs together. Honey, if I have to put all my affairs together, forget it. Well, the men will line up from here to Chicago.
We're venturing out. We're going to try to venture out this weekend. It'll be our first time, since February, our first time leaving the house to go to an event. We're going to go to Marcel Waltz's birthday party. Hopefully, if everything works out good and we're all feeling well. And then there's a lot of events.
We'll go and I'll feel great. Like I said to Jimmy, they have chairs there. So we sit in a chair like two old maids. I mean, if you saw this crowd that goes to Marcel's party, you'd say, Ron, what did you invite? All your grandchildren?
Yeah, well, that's just because we're old.
I mean, they're all in their 30s and 40s. And here we walk in, Grandpa and Grandpa.
I also got an update on Clown Motel 3. The premiere is going to be in October, and it's going to be the afternoon before Halloween Hotness. So we're going to go to Halloween Hotness. We're going to go to the premiere, and we'll be all dressed up, and then we'll go to Halloween Hotness right afterwards because they're going to be right down the street from each other. And so I'm not sure the date of Halloween Hotness, but you can find out by going to HalloweenHotness.com.
So Joe thought that one up. That's clever. Except I got to sit there in costume.
No, because we're not in costume. For Halloween Hotness theme is like black tie or something. So we're going to be all dressed up anyway. You'll be dressed up like you're going. So it won't be in not Halloween costumes. We'll be dressed really nice. So it'll be perfect because we'll be dressed for a premiere.
I always dress like that. So and, what's the new thing?
Well, that one year you went as a cowboy. That wasn't dressed up.
I loved it. I looked good. I was so sexy. I was getting hit on by all my friends. I didn't even know who I was. They said, "Oh, you're Ron." "Oh, I'm sorry, Ron. Oh, Jimmy's going to kill me." I said, "Not at all." He didn't hear what you said to me. He didn't hear the proposition I just got.
So anyway, I don't know when Halloween Hotness is, but it's sometime in October, and that's when we're going to do the premiere. It should be a lot of fun. Clown Motel is actually a sponsor of Halloween Hotness this year. They're one of the sponsors, the film itself, and so it should be pretty good. I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. And I forgot what else I was going to say, but say something to people.
Say something to people.
Yes.
I just did.
Okay, no, I mean, so if you want me, I'll start preparing things to talk about if you want me to. But you always told me you talk it during this first couple of minutes, and so I don't prepare anything.
Jimmy, I have nothing to say. What am I going to say? I just took a shower, folks. I washed my hair. Then I went and I sat naked out in the garden to dry off with the sun. So I took 10, 20 minutes of sun, fluffed my hair, put this beige, boring shirt on, and came in here to make you all laugh. Now laugh. Ha 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 ha.
It's October 25th. Halloween Hotness is October 25th. All right, so are you ready for our first guest?
Yeah, what the fuck do you think we're here for? To talk about my knee?
No, not. All right, let's bring in our first guest.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Germany. The sun goes slowly down here right now. We have 9:15 p.m.
So it's nighttime. So everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, director, writer, producer, entrepreneur, Uwe Boll, and welcome to the show. I don't know if you remember, Ron. I don't even know if you remember because you were on our show before when we didn't do it on video, when it was just audio, on July 9th, 2014. And we were promoting Attack on Precinct something, I think.
Assault on Wall Street.
Yes, Assault on Wall Street. Yes, so we were talking about it. That's when the movie had come out a little bit before that, I think. So that's what we were promoting and talking about. But we're very happy to have you back. This is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Ron Russell. He's a little under the weather. We both had knee surgery, and we're having some difficulties. But say hi.
Why don't you slide your hand up my ass and just move my mouth? Hi.
Come on, let's go.
What else would you like me to say to him? I said hi.
Okay.
What else?
No.
I hate when you do this, Jimmy. Jimmy Star might be a wonderful person to work with in business, but to live with him as a husband, he's a nightmare because he stands in the room and watches me do everything. Now get up. You want me to help you put your pants on?
No, it's only because he had knee surgery. So let's go. Anyway,
what shirt are you wearing?
Nobody cares about any of that. Let's talk about.
No, they do care. This is gossip. We're going to get to selling his goodies right now. We got to get the audience hot.
No, we're not.
So living with a control freak is not good, but working with a control freak has to be the best. Because what Jimmy does at work, look at you with your dog.
What kind of dog is that?
That's a mini Spitz mixed with a Pomeranian, and he's so black. His name is Bear, so you cannot really see him because he's so black.
We have a black dog called Astro. We have a dog called Astro, a little black one. He's 7 pounds. He's sleeping behind us on the couch. So before we get started,
let me segue into it, gentlemen. So having a control freak as your producer, director, or whatever, can be an advantage. Now let's get into Jimmy Star, the control freak.
There we go. I am the control freak. So number one, I want to tell everybody, if you want to follow a very fun account on Instagram, follow Uwe Boll. It's at UWE_Boll_films. You got to do a little bit more stuff in English for us. But the post that you did yesterday was the greatest post ever. I shared it and sent it to everybody. So he did a post, you guys, and it says, John Wick is shit. And the new movie is shit. And Barbie is shit. And every different show is shit. And I thought it was so hilarious. And everybody loved it, and it's true. I think everything you said in it was true, but it made me smile, and I had a really good time with it. So I love all the stuff, how you're kind of controversial, but you never let anybody shit on you, and I love it.
Yeah, that's why I'm still happy and not depressed, right? So I got bashed so early in my career from everybody and canceled and everything, and I felt like I'm not taking shit. And so when all the cancel culture started, I was already canceled for a long time. So I couldn't. So I really don't care. And I say what I feel also, not only what I think, also what I feel. I feel with all that what in Hollywood is happening, it's just like the computers took over, you know, like the algorithms now artificial intelligence will take over. There will be no more humans involved soon. And
yes.
it's this kind of feeling like they have no answers. They do another Superman and another Avengers, and then bringing Hunger Games back now, remaking this, and then they remade already Lord of the Rings. And I mean, it's just an endless loop of bullshit. And especially John Wick now, when that ballerina movie came and Lionsgate said they will do way more John Wick films. And everybody I know are totally over it. Like after John Wick 1 and 2, it totally
those are the only good ones. 1 and 2 are the only good ones. The rest of them are terrible. And all those that like I didn't watch that last Hunger Games one that came out, but it was terrible. And I just saw a thing that they're remaking another Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm a big horror movie guy, and so they're remaking another Nightmare on Elm Street, which I mean they've already remade it a ton of times. So why do you have to keep doing that?
Because it makes money.
But I don't think they do make money. I think a lot of them bomb because the fans protest against it. The fans don't want to see that either. Like they want Robert Englund to be. They don't want all these new Freddy Kruegers and all these new people.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that has a big thing to do with it. So you also so you were just at Cannes.
Yeah, we shot a movie Citizen Vigilante with Armie Hammer, who was also canceled, and that was good that he was canceled. So I got him cheap for my club because he's a great actor. Actually, he's very good, you know. And I think he's like 39. He deserves to have a career still as an actor. You know, I mean, he was not in jail. He was not even prosecuted for.
They dropped it. They dropped all the charges. It was stupid. Like they canceled him really for no reason whatsoever. I actually. I'm working on a film, and we had talked about we had wanted to possibly use him, but we were worried about the canceled part of it. And then I saw that you were doing it when I reached out to you back in February, and that you were doing a movie with him. And I was like, good for you, and that fits actually for you and your personality and what you do anyway. And I hope the film blows up, and like I hope he comes back on top again.
I hope so too. He was very nice to work with. Total no attitude, nothing. And I think also he regret what he did, but the basic was he cheated on his wife. I mean, that is what happened, right? So, and with various women, and then all that women got jealous on each other, basically, and then they started killing him per Instagram, you know, like, he choked me, he did this, whatever. He was into bondage and stuff. He admitted this. But he did it properly with safe words and everything. And so I just don't believe this kind of accusations, what the woman, and not one of that woman sued him also, what is kind of absurd, right? Because normally all that women sue everybody so that they get money or something, right?
Right.
But there was also no lawsuit. And that shows to me that there was basically just jealousy between different women who is now the real girlfriend of him or whatever. And but he did drugs, he did alcohol, he stopped all of this, so he was now clean and in good shape. I
also noticed in that movie you have Costas Mandylor, who we went to 2 events last year in October. We went to a movie premiere and walked the red carpet with him, and then we went to a costume party with him. And he's Costas Mandylor. What a great guy! Like we really like him a lot. He was a lot of fun.
Costas is very European, and I think European men have a way of showing affection that's not gay. In other words, they are straight men who show affection to other men. And I found him to be very affectionate to me. He was extremely, extremely kind and warm and sweet and nice, and just he's a Greek.
Yes,
he's a Greek. The Greeks are wonderful people.
Yes, I have him in 2 movies. I did a movie with Amanda Plummer, Run. Last year. It's unreleased. I still try to get a distribution. Where she is an American tourist on an Italian island, and refugee boats coming in, and there is a woman from Ghana. She is pregnant. And so she's hiding her, but then she gets arrested by the police. And I have James Russo, Ulrich Thompson, Bakat Abdi from Captain Phillips from Senegal. So it's a lot of things happening on that one day. And also a violent escalation against the migrant camp. So the locals attacking the migrant camp. So that's maybe the reason.
It looks fantastic. It also has Kristen Renton. We actually know Kristen Renton. She did a film for a friend of ours, and we went to a red carpet and walked a red carpet with her too. And she's in 2 of your films because she's also in First Shift.
Yes.
That's out now. So you can't get distributed because I saw online Run is distributed through Europe, but you didn't get it distributed in the United States yet?
No, we hope for hopefully in fall. And we were very disappointed because everybody watched it. Everybody said, oh, it's a great film, but we don't think the Americans want to see that. And I said, look, that's a film about migration. It's like the biggest subject matter in Europe and in a way in the US too, right? So, and why nobody wants to watch this? And I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it was pissing me off, but it is what it is. So we try to get it out. And yeah, I mean, but First Shift, that is where I met Kristen as the cop. And she's just so a great, positive character. Like, you know, like when you're around her, like she brings a positive atmosphere to everything. And that is why I hired her for Run too. So,
I think she's fabulous. She's fat. So, Ron, remember when we first moved to California and Churchill was doing that xenophobia thing and they were shot that thing with Mark Hoadley? Kristen Renton was the girl in that. And then she went to the thing with us. And you know who else is in that movie who's a good friend of ours is because we're from the East Coast. We have only lived here a couple of years, 6 years. Rich Graff. We used to hang out with Rich Graff in New York all the time. And according to IMDb, he was in it. And Gary Pastor is, I just had recently invited him to come on the show, actually.
But the girl you were talking about, I sat in the kitchen with.
Yeah, you sat in the kitchen with her.
And we had the best time in the kitchen. But nobody wanted to go to work. They all came in the kitchen. What are you guys laughing at? What are you guys doing? And the kitchen was the place. So Churchill was having a fit. He said, "Would you stop stealing my actors?" I said, "I didn't do it."
So I have a question though. You did a post on Instagram. Like, did you actually win an award at cons? Was that a real post?
No, of course not. I mean, there was
no. Okay.
Posted it. I felt like I should make a joke about this bullshit film festivals. Like, you know, the A festivals are basically this. They don't take anybody's film who actually submits a film and pays $160 that they.
Are you kidding?
They're just taking the money. And,
right.
They inviting everybody, you know, oh, I have George Clooney, boom, you're in. Or you are Wes Anderson, boom, you're in. They're the same people going to this A-list festival since 30 years, you know, and getting the prizes and going up the red carpet. And everybody else who makes movies, including some very good movies, are getting like no chance at all. And that's so like really, it's rigged, right? It's really rigged. It's just bullshit. And I felt, okay, just released the video. I won the Golden Palm. But the video came out way before the prizes were actually given out. And it was actually,
I didn't notice that. I actually Googled it to see if it was real or not, and I couldn't find anything. So I thought it was a joke. But then I thought, you never know, you know, because it's a very controversial topic for the movie Run. It's very controversial. It looks like a fabulous film. I have the trailer. Even if you want to play, we can play the trailer for people to see it because you know a couple million people watch the show. Yeah, I also have the trailer. I also brought the trailer for First Shift because I thought we could show that one too since it's got people that we know in it, and I think that one's available now, right, on like Tubi or someplace.
First Shift is on now on Amazon, Apple TV, and still on Paramount Plus also.
Oh, I'm a member of all of them. So let's show everybody real quick. Let's show everybody the trailer for Run, and see. You do an introduction for us, Juan. That's the second one I sent you this morning when I didn't know I had. That's why I sent it to you late. So that's the one you're going to play. But you introduce it for us, Uwe, and then we'll play it. And you hang on. We'll be right back.
Run is a drama shot basically in Croatia, but standing in for Italy, partly in Italian language, with some Italian actors like Daniela Piperni, who played, for example, in Ferrari, the mother from Adam Driver, like the movie from Michael Mann, and Daniel Soli from New York, but he speaks perfectly Italian. And it's basically my reflection on the boat migrant crisis in Europe, where already 50,000 people drowned in the Mediterranean Sea, like 50,000 dead people from thrown off the boats or boats sinking. And it's a horrible situation for everybody, for the people who are receiving every day the boats, but also for the refugees who paid tons of money to the smugglers and are not welcome in Europe anymore, right? So it's like they're getting lied to, basically. They're getting lied to that they're getting a lot of money, the good jobs, whatever, but these times are way over. So so that's the everything plays in one day on that island in the film.
Here it is, everybody. Run, the trailer.
Tourist?
No. American?
American.
Ciao.
Another goddamn boat.
Makes 4 a week now. Never thought it would get this bad.
Yeah, well, it is bad.
A state of emergency was announced this week.
Arriving one after the other.
This is the first port of call for those fleeing North Africa. They attempt to make their way further into Europe.
They rob, they steal, they rape.
Asylum seeker. Asylum seeker.
Never heard this before.
It's okay.
No police.
Come on in.
I'm so happy.
I'm safe.
I can pick you up in 1 hour when my shift is over.
How long you are on the boat for?
2 days.
Where you come from?
Come from Somalia.
You need to get a little bit more involved in your work, I think.
I take care of here. I cannot take care of the water.
Selena, we have to go.
They are here. Immigration. Go to the storage.
You are illegal. You have to take your life in your own hands.
Okay, do you have ID?
Slow down.
Come with me.
I have 200 euro. Just take it.
Do you know what this is? It's called a bribe. This is criminal.
Doesn't anybody care about this town? It's going to hell.
I want friends! Please leave him alone!
Please, put down the knife.
Everybody saw what happened. I was just trying to save the boy.
This is out of my hands.
Am I under arrest?
She killed the guy from behind.
I want my daughter back. You got till 9 o'clock.
I think it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
I did not bring the boat here. This is not me that did this.
What do we do now?
I love it. I think it looks fantastic. Ron actually went to lunch, I think, one time with Amanda Plummer or something.
No, I was having lunch with, I think Debbie Reynolds or somebody. I don't remember who. Like a Debbie Reynolds. And we went to
the Ivy.
The Ivy. And seated next to us was Amanda. So I turned to her and I said, Amanda Plummer, I love you. And I know you since you're a baby. She said, you know me since I'm a baby. How's that? I said, when I was a hairdresser in New York studying, we used to do all the wigs for High Spirits, which was your mother's play. And I used to go down in the tombs to carry the wigs to the rooms that they would use them the next night. And there was a baby carriage. And there you were in the baby carriage. She said, oh, go on, get out of here. I said, no, I swear I would. Amanda, would I make up such a bullshit story? She said, well, I bet you didn't lean in and say, what a cute baby. So I didn't know what to say. So luckily, I think it was Debbie I was with. Was it? No, not Debbie. Somebody like Debbie who was very funny.
Yeah, she told me she
was one of those comedian people, and they made a joke about it. Anyway, years later, I ran into Amanda again, and I refreshed that story. And she said, "Oh, I never forgot that story." She said, I said, "So now you're doing well. You're acting. I'm happy that you're back in the business because I know that you stopped for a while, which was a mistake." I said, "You're a great actress." She really is a great actress, by the way. This woman can act like nobody else. And I adore her. I love her. She's the sweetest person.
It's funny, though, because in your rant about Hunger Games, like in the original Hunger Games series, she was really the best thing in the one that she was in. She's the best one in it.
She's a brilliant actress. Don't talk about her father too much.
Yeah.
I don't think there was romance.
She told me they lived in Little Italy, right? So in New York for years and years. And then they moved her away to boarding schools and everything. She was barely with her parents or her father or whatever, ever. She lived with aunts and like people, like they were relatives or like boarding schools. But it was, I have to say, I loved working with her because I like if actors do their own thing, and I think I believe it or not. So I'm not this guy who says you have to do it this way, boop, boop, boop. I want to see how they do it based on what they were reading, what they were like thinking about the part. And if I believe it, I'm fine. You know, I'm happy. So, and I think she's an actress. She's only instinct. You know, she's really like always a little off. And that makes her character. I think it's like she just nails it the way she is. She doesn't try to be somebody totally different as her.
No, she does not. She does not.
Yeah.
You're very right. I told Jimmy to put her on our list years ago of hiring her if there's a part for her. Coming from, such strong parents, her parents were very, very important people. Her father was Christopher Plummer, and her mother was Tammy Grimes. So they were very important people back in the 1960s. And she, I guess, was told she wasn't beautiful enough to become an actress, that she was not pretty. I gathered that from our conversation about her father. I ask questions that nobody else does because I have balls. I don't give a shit. I get what I want. Otherwise, why should I sit there for 2 hours and talk to her about her career? Do I give a fuck about her career? I'm not going to listen to how wonderful her career is. I want to get to the stuff. And I found that talking about her father was uncomfortable and not something she liked. So I didn't do it. But I love her. I just love her. I'd like to work with her. If I could work with her, I would be so happy. Yeah, did you find her to be terrific?
Yes, it was like, she also was the actor. So she came the earliest to Croatia. She insisted to be like a week before the shoot already there to adjust to the situation and everything. The total opposite as, look, actors in today's time, all the agents like, okay, we fly him in one day before. He can do the dress. It's ridiculous. It's always like when you negotiate with agents, they acting like every day is X amount of dollars, and instead of like, let's have a good time also in Croatia on that island shooting the film, adjust to the jet lag with it's 9 hours time difference and everything. And she did it completely right. She came the earliest. She was super adjusted when everybody else traveled in, like James Russo and so on. And she stayed also later in Croatia, and then she came to me here, to Germany, and visit me here with my family, and she stayed a few days with us. And I was very, very surprised because she played actually video games with my son, and I never pictured her that she plays video games, and she was good at it. And that is so interesting, like when you have somebody like Amanda Plummer And then she's with my son, like with the PlayStation, and they fighting whatever Fortnite or something. Looking at them like, what the fuck is happening? I couldn't believe it, but it was great. It's great. I'm still in contact with her, and she asks always like, what's going on with the movie? And I told her like, yeah, Cannes didn't took us, Venice didn't took us, South by Southwest didn't took us, Tribeca didn't took us. Nobody played the movie, and now we have to see how we release it without a festival or appearance or something. Yeah.
I think it looks like
well,
it's a really good
by
movie.
your trailer, I usually judge a movie by its trailer. If it's cut like crap, and they give it 50 million shots in a minute, I'm not interested. Your trailer was interesting because you gave me time to think.
Mm-hmm.
Your trailer is clean, very clean. If you know what I mean by clean. Not shadowy, dirty, dark, and creepy. Just nice. It seems to me to be a quality film. It looks like a movie that would be in a theater, not in some shitty,
streaming,
crappy places that we have to go to.
For some of the shit that we see.
Some of the shit we have.
So I have a question for you about an old movie, and then we'll come back and because I want to play the trailer for First Shift, but just in general, because at the beginning of their career, you got like bashed so bad, and I never really like understood it because I actually, so I have another little horror podcast that I do that just plays trailers and talks about movies, and I did, since you were coming on the show today, I did one. It's called Dark Frights Horror News, and I did Alone in the Dark and House of the Dead, which I thought House of the Dead was brilliant. Like, zombies didn't run like that and chase and do all that stuff before you did it, really. Like, I thought it was great, and you got bashed, and then you did a lot, all them, I guess those are movies. I don't know if those are movies also, but then you did In the Name of the King, and the reason I want to bring it up, I enjoyed it, but I want to know, how was it working? How was it to work with Jason Statham since he starred in it? Because that's like Ron's only, like Ron doesn't like action movies, but he likes Jason Statham movies.
Because I can't believe how that 5'6" little boy can beat 30 people up in 1 minute. But and he doesn't smile. He just, I love to watch him beat people up. I've never seen anybody enjoy it more than Jason, because he stays deadpan. His face has no expression. It's just boom, 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 you're dead. Boom, boom, boom. So I am excited to meet him.
He plays always the same character. And then in The Name of the King, I tried that he is a father, he's losing his son. I tried to get a little more emotion out of him. Let's say it this way, right? So
never get emotion out of him. But you know what? They have him up they want him for James Bond.
I think that was fake news, though.
I hope not, because he would make a great James Bond. James Bond had no personality, really. He was just a cunt man and a drunk. So I think Jason could play that well.
So you guys, In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale, stars a lot of great people: Lily Sobieski, Jason Statham, Jonathan Rhys-Davies, Ron Perlman, Claire Forlani. This is A-list, everybody. Matthew Lillard, Kristanna Loken, Mike Dopud. I bring him up because he's been on the show and he's been in a bunch of your movies. Burt Reynolds, Ray Liotta, so it had everybody. But I noticed, too, on a lot of your movies, like, you do use a lot of the same actors go from movie to movie to movie. Because I noticed, like Mike Dopud, he's been in a ton of them. You do that because they're good actors and you had a good experience the first time?
Yeah. Like Michael Paré is in a lot of my movies, Clint Howard, like, like the various people I try to use again if I like working with them. Dominic Purcell played after Assault on Wall Street, also in The Name of the King part 2 or 3. And so because you know each other, you know how to work with each other, it's good. I tried to get Jason Statham back, but after my film, he just went up.
Yeah.
And now they maybe pay him almost $10 million for this kind of movies, right? So it's crazy. But I agree with Ron. It's like he's the only real male action star existing right now. Everybody from the old generation is just too old. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, they're all like 78, 80. It's over. Mel Gibson, they're all too old now. And I think he kept this kind of Clint Eastwood style I don't have a lot of impressions. I just do what I'm supposed to do. And he was like this as a person too. I mean, he was like, you didn't have like I had 2 dinners with him during the shoot, and it was not like long conversations about everything. It's like we were eating, and he's like straightforward, but super easy to work with. He's very sportive. He was a high jumper in the swimming pool, so that's the reason he can do the flips and everything. And he was.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
that he was a high jumper off diving boards. That's how he can do all the flips and everything so good when he's fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's not.
We see all of his movies. We just watched one the other night.
That's not publicized.
I just saw one. We just saw one the other night, and it was really good.
How did you find working with my buddy Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, it was very impressive, and
I were old friends for years and years.
Yeah, it's really like a legend, right? So, and he told me, like, when we shot In the Name of the King, after his last shooting day, he said, by the way, Uwe, it's the only film I die in.
Oh, wow.
And I said, really? I mean, I imagined he made so many movies. He said, no. I said, look at my movies. I said, I didn't die in any movie, but I'm dying here. And that was with the reviews on In the Name of the King, it was hurtful that he got also trashed, because I think he did a great job. He was a great king in the film, right? And especially the dying scene was very heartbreaking, and I felt that was totally disrespectful. But I mean, that's the world we're living in, When you mentioned House of the Dead, what triggered all the bad reviews, basically, they're doing another one, a new one now, a remake, basically, of House of the Dead, with a lot of money, and it comes out next year from Sony. And I bet when they compare this CGI $80 million movie with my House of the Dead, in the very end, a lot of people will like my movie more, because I think we did everything for real. There was no real, like all the explosions, the makeup effects, the blood effects, they were all real. And and it was campy because House of the Dead is campy.
Right.
It's teenagers on an island trying to survive zombies. So what the fuck you're expecting, right? I think I did exactly what I was supposed to do, making a House of the Dead movie. It's gore, it's sex, it's everything in. It's exactly how I saw the video game, and I got trashed for it. And I feel like these guys were so wrong at that time. I mean,
I think they were wrong too. So I've seen the majority of your films. I had seen everything that you had done up until we had you on in 2014. And I think that, first of all, I'm a big horror aficionado anyway. And the fact that like you're doing stuff, I guess it's a tribute to you that they're going to like remake it, or whatever. But what I like about you is that when you get trashed, you don't fucking take that shit. And I think it is awesome. I read the thing about how like you had like reviewers and you set up boxing matches with like 5 reviewers who gave you negative reviews, and then you beat the shit out of all of them in the ring. Like, that is cool stuff. And then you became friends with them. I think I even read afterwards that you were friendly with them.
After they sued him.
One was Jeff Schneider, who's maybe listening to this here too. He worked at for a Variety. We are supposed to do a podcast like 20 years of the boxing fights together, hopefully soon. He's supposed that we talk about how he sees that whole craziness there in Vancouver in retrospective, So I think it was a good publicity stunt. Everybody watched it, and they learned something too. So when they got beaten up, so they learned, I think, that you cannot only write about stuff, you also have to like put up and do things. I felt also like no matter what movie you do, like when they always compared me with Ed Wood or whatever, I said Ed Wood did something. You know, he made films with almost no money, and that is work. And he made it happen that even today people talk about him. You know,
Yes.
so and that's
They even made a movie about him. They even made a movie about him.
But you weren't the first person to do that. Rudo Valentino, back in the day, they used to call him a faggot. He was a sissy, he was queer, whatever. So one man called him a powder puff. And Valentino said, "You think I'm a powder puff? Come in the ring." And he did. He boxed with this person and knocked him out. Well, the person turned out to be, and I forgot the name, one of the greatest professional boxers in the world. And his son was from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, Jethro?
Jethro, the
Oh,
father.
I don't know
His father was the boxer. And I thought to myself, Valentino beat him up? I don't think so.
So they staged it.
Bear.
Yeah,
Max Bear. I don't think he beat Max Bear up. I don't think so. But it was a wonderful publicity stunt. My mother was a Valentino freak, so I have millions of pictures in her collection, and there were so many of Rudy with his boxing gloves fighting.
I love it.
Later, I felt Errol Flynn was always a little like Valentino was, like 20 years, 30 years later.
Yeah, but you were not the first. I just wanted you to know that.
So Ron, just a little background on. So Ron used to have a TV show called Set the Record Straight here in California, and he would interview all the legends. And he was best friends with Jane Russell, so he kind of is from. He's 85, so he's from that generation and knew like Elizabeth Taylor and Tab Hunter and all those people. What's her name? Betty Davis. He knew all those people. I'm from the 80s, so I'm like the Corey Feldman, Corey Haim days. I'm friends with all the 80s people.
The young people today that I'm subjected to, the famous young people today, are boring. They have no personalities whatsoever. But back in the day, if I went to a party in 1955, I could very well be talking to Rita Hayworth, Lana Turner, Clark Gable. I mean, the room was just filled with people who were better off camera than on camera. So it was Hollywood, it was theater, it was actors, it was magic. Today, film is crappy, movies stink. That woke shit, they got to get rid of those people because they're for the birds. And let's bring back decent movies. And
what a story.
And you know what? Nicole Kidman, leave your nose alone. You've gone through 3 or 4 noses, and none of them were pretty. You finally got a nose back that you look good. Become actresses, become movie stars again. You earn it. There's nothing wrong with being Gloria Swanson, who I loved as a child. A little boy, I knew her. Or the great stars. Mae Murray, my mother's best friend. I used to go to her house with my mother, and Mae Murray would answer the door this way. "Jenny, you bastard! You're here, darling." I mean, they made a big deal out of taking a shit. Everything they did was theater. Betty Davis, if she lit a cigarette, she made sure 5 people were watching, waiting for her to light that cigarette, and then she lit it. She did it for people. So this was the beauty of Hollywood. We had actors. Today we have line readers. They read lines. And when they're finished reading their lines, they go home and they get arrested for sex offense.
On the way home or in the home?
On the way home, that's right. So I have a question.
Pick up a transsexual.
So I have a question for you. Like, so you did a lot of horror. Are you a horror movie fan in general?
Yes.
Like, is that something you would sit around and watch?
Look, I turned 60 in 1 week, basically, right? So I get old.
That's my age. So I'm 60 also.
So, and that was the time when I was young, going to the movies, Mother's Day, the John Carpenter movies, Escape from New York, The Thing, and of course the first Halloween, the first Friday the 13th, were all this area. There was the big horror era, you can say. Dario Argento in Italy and so on. And for us, trying to get into the R-rated films with like being only 14 years old or something was like the game plan every weekend. You bought tickets for something else and then you sneaked over to the movie you really wanted to see. And that was really, for me, had a big impact on why I like, in general, genre. And as a German filmmaker, that is basically, genre is exactly that what in Germany nobody's doing. They all do drama, so the whole comedy or drama, there's nothing else, and period piece sometimes. But I always wanted films about like life or death, something has to happen. That was why I was a total outsider in Germany too, and I had to go to America to do something, basically, and but horror is definitely a genre I still follow till today. But I agree, like, you cannot redo over and over. I don't want Halloween 80. I don't want, Friday the 13th 20 and Freddy Krueger forever. You also have to let things die, and you don't need to like redo everything. But that shows that all these studios, I think they're scared. They basically don't know what to do, and then they jump on some. What we see in the Oscars now since a few years is that totally shit movies getting nominated for the Oscars, where you have the feeling like, why is that nominated? It's just the social pressure. What made a film like get nominated, And I think that's
we didn't see any of the last years. I didn't know what any of those movies that got nominated were. I didn't know any of them. We didn't even watch the Oscars because I was like, we didn't know the movies.
The films of the 1940s and 50s were done so well that we are able to watch them today on movie classics. Okay?
Yeah.
And we can enjoy them today as if it were back then in the 40s. Even some of your movies, Jimmy, I can't watch them for a minute more. I mean, I say, where the fuck did this one come from? Because they don't know how to please an audience. Audiences today are stupid. They don't have any education in film. They have nothing but the idiotic shit that we produce, the garbage, the stupid chop off a dick. I said, is that all they did? They said, no, they stuck firecrackers up a woman's snatch and blew that off on film. That's film. That's art. That's a movie to go see. A guy getting his dick cut off. I almost died when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. That's why I said to my buddy Marcel, I said, next they're going to blow a woman's snatch off. He said, oh, Ron, they did that already. So where are we going in film? Where are we going to go next? Kill somebody to make it realistic?
They did that already.
I know, they did that already.
8mm.
So where are we going in film?
So
wait a minute. One statement and I'm going to shut my mouth. We lost the act of acting.
That it?
That's it.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
We lost the art of acting as well.
What are, besides your own films, what are a few films that have come out in the last 10 years that you actually think were actually good films, that were worth watching, that you enjoyed, and that you didn't think were shit, and that weren't all woke?
I think I loved There Will Be Blood, but it's maybe older, as 10 years.
Yes.
That was a very good movie. And there were various movies that were okay, but there were not really movies, they moved the needle for me anymore. Let's say it this way. When you see also what movies were nominated for an Oscar, like 1980 or 85 or 1990, and you had like in the same year, whatever, Jaws, Clockwork Orange, Apocalypse Now, like shitlet, where you say like, oh, they're all masterpieces, they're all great. And today you have Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Anora, or Emilio Paris, or something like this, where, and I do this to myself, I watch that films, and I watch them and I think like, Run is a better film as the films this year nominated for the Oscars. Because it has a real background and a real subject matter, what people discuss every day in the living rooms. And there was a time where we had the Deer Hunter or even Nashville, they were like making movies at that point about what is happening now, and not like what is happened 20 years ago and nobody gives a fuck about anymore, or what is happening now but nobody cares. I mean, when they really celebrated this or Moonlight or this kind of movies, they don't get me. It's just like they're unimportant, artificial.
You can't make a movie about today. If you make a movie about today, you will have the audience beating each other up, because the political views of today are so diversified. You will have the Jews killing the Christians and the blacks killing the white and whatever goes on. People today can't tolerate
movies about real life.
They can't really face the reality of what's going on. Hate Trump. Everybody has to hate Trump. If you don't hate Trump, you're not in. That sort of thinking. Instead of saying, let's do a movie about Trump and possibly show what he's trying to do. I like films that give you a positive feeling, a film that gives you hope, a film that makes you understand that life today is difficult, that we all have to watch what we say or we're in trouble. You talk about Nazi Germany. This is worse than Nazi Germany, because at least in Nazi Germany, we knew who the enemy was. But today, we don't know who the enemy is. They come with blackface, or they come all glitzy and cute and wonderful. They're sneaks. They're no good. So you got to keep your mouth shut. I'm not supposed to get political.
No, I know, but I have a question for him. So one of the movies that got nominated for an Oscar this year was the Demi Moore movie, The Substance, which I was happy that horror got recognized, but I didn't actually like the movie. Did you watch the movie, and what did you think of The Substance?
No, I didn't watch it. That was the one movie I missed, basically. I will watch it soon here in the stream for free at one point, but I passed this up. And I heard the same like what you said, that it's kind of crazy, but overall also just hyped up, not really living up to the expectations you have. But I think with Demi Moore, it was just like, we want her back. We want to give her a new career, and she got all the love and support of the business.
That I like. I like that because I like her a lot. So we have like 7 minutes left, and I want to do the trailer for everybody to see First Shift. So tell us a little bit about First Shift, since we can actually everybody can see it now, and we'll play the trailer.
Title.
First Shift. That's the name of the song.
What is it?
First Shift.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, not First Shit.
You were talking about being the shit before.
No. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about First Shift.
Good movie, First Shit. They were unforgettable.
What a title, The First Shit.
So tell us about First Shift.
So I did not, between 2016 and 2021, I didn't shot a movie. I felt like it's senseless in a way. It's similar to what Ron just said. Like, it's like you feel like, what the fuck I'm doing here? Nobody gives a shit anymore. And then I wrote episodes down because I'm with you, what you said in the beginning. I like New York way more as I like LA in general. It's like the New Yorkers are more also my mentality as the people in general, as LA people.
He says he likes New Yorkers better. They have a more mentality like him, and you're from New York, so I pointed to you.
I'm from Brooklyn.
There we shot First Shift, right? So we lived in Williamsburg, and
we shot the movie in New York.
Where'd you shoot it?
I mean, we shot all over the place. We shot in Queens, in Brooklyn. We shot under the bridge where the tram is, like where French Connection was shot, and so I really like iconic places, and few scenes in Manhattan, but mostly we were in Brooklyn. And So I loved police movies, and I missed police movies, like what I've said with the French Connection, and I felt like, why not trying to do a police movie playing in New York? And I did in New York various scenes from Assault on Wall Street. I produced the movies there, and I know you get the good thing in New York in comparison to LA is you get away with a lot because nobody cares, right? So you can just shoot. Nobody looks in the camera. You can go in the subway and you shoot your guy, and the other people are not extras. They're just sitting there, and nobody cares. That's the good thing. And so we got, I think, a lot of production value by just hit and run, shooting and leaving. And I think we made it in a way that it comes across a more real show as all that TV shows we see with cops like Blue Bloods or whatever. It has more like grit to it. And I was lucky with Kristen and Gino Pesi, the other actor, that they had so good chemistry. So, and the chemistry also, when you play the trailer, the chemistry comes across, I think, very good in the trailer. Yeah.
So let's play the trailer. Go ahead and just introduce the trailer. Let's watch it and look out for Rich Graff because he's in this. I don't know if he's in the trailer, but anyway, just say who you are, and this is your film trailer, and then we'll play it.
Yeah, here's Uwe Boll, and that's the trailer of First Shift, who is running right now on most platforms out there.
All right now, so another day in paradise awaits us. Before you hit the streets, I'd like to introduce our newest team members. Russo, meet your new partner.
It's my first day on the job, and I cannot wait.
She's taking a selfie.
She needs someone like you, and you need someone like her.
Is this a precinct or a dating app? Nice catch.
Okay, this is really weird. I mean, I thought this is when we were supposed to be getting to know each other. Bonding, like getting tight. Oh my God. What about you?
I don't like people.
Shut up! You princess!
Take it easy. No woman, no cry. No guns, no problems.
I'm like I'm from New York.
Don't do that.
What did you expect us to do?
How about chop off a thumb?
What the?
A wise guy, huh?
But here's the good news. Option A, you die.
Cheers.
This is a big night.
The city is my future.
I love it.
Yeah, that's New York.
I love seeing all the New York stuff, which is fabulous.
That cemetery is where my grandmother's buried, and my grandfather.
It's one of the biggest in America, right? So it's so big.
That was Calvary Cemetery.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I saw my skyscrapers, and I saw my streets, and my noise and my confusion, and I loved every minute of it.
I think it's fabulous. So you guys, you want to check out Uwe Boll? He's got.
I think Jimmy said we're going to watch your film tonight.
Yeah, I want to watch that one tonight.
Is it free?
It's on Tubi, I think.
Yeah, you find it for free somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys check out a bunch of other films by Uwe Boll. Assault on Wall Street's a really good one with a lot of famous people in it. The Final Storm with Steve Basic, who's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He's been on the show like 10 times. He's a really good friend of mine.
We love
Attack
Steve.
on Darfur. He was an actor in League of Superheroes with Bai Ling, Lloyd Kaufman, and Fred Olen Ray.
Bai Ling?
Yes, Bai Ling. First Shift is out. He also is in a comedy animation horror film called Apocalypse, where he plays Officer Bowl. That was original.
I help filmmakers sometimes. They ask me for doing a cameo or whatever, and I'm happily doing it.
I love that. I think it's fabulous.
Well, I have to ask you a question. Do you know Marcel Waltz?
Yeah, of course. he did Seed 2. Like I did that horror movie Seed, and he did the second part of it.
Oh yeah, in Germany, right? He's becoming a big deal here in America.
But you know what movie you have to watch?
What?
Blind.
Blind. Okay, I will.
He made it for no money. It's a great movie.
He did it German style. All class, all intelligence, well written, well filmed. He didn't do it New York style. Not New York, America style. Cut him up, shut him up, and throw him out. He did a wonderful job.
Almost no budget at all. You should check it out.
And he won all kinds of awards in Europe.
Yeah, it's a good film. You'll like it. He's a good friend. As a matter of fact, his birthday is Saturday. We're going to a birthday party at his house on Saturday. So I'll say hi. Yes, I will. We'll say hi for you. Again, you guys follow Uwe on Instagram, Uwe_Boll_films. Another person that you probably know. Do you know Matthias Hughes?
Absolutely. He was at my house here in Mainz.
Love him. Love him to death. We had him on not too long ago. He was a great guest. You Germans really got your shit together, so it makes me happy. And we want to thank you for coming on. And when you get a release for Citizen Vigilante, let me know, and we'll bring you back so we can help promote it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Uwe. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for a smart show.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
What should I do? I leave the studio. I can leave.
Yes, leave the studio. Yes. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. That was Uwe Boll. I love him to death. I know he's controversial, but he's like the greatest controversial director.
Why is he controversial?
He just is. He just is.
I didn't find him controversial.
No, he's not at all, because we think like him, so he's controversial for us. But he is really terrific guy. We're going to take we're going to bring on our next guest.
I have to take a standing up break.
Oh,
because it's time to stand. Otherwise, our knees could.
Actually, we're going to do a real quick music break then, you guys. This is Ricky Rebel Preacher. We'll be back in 3 minutes with our next guest, Elizabeth Johnson. So enjoy Ricky Rebel Preacher. We'll be right back.
Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your. I met you in Waikiki, in the back of your red Jeep. We did things that I can't believe. I lock it up in my memory. I never said I was an angel. I never said I was an angel. Don't know if there's a heaven or hell. I'll be your lover, I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus, I'm not your father, but I'll be your daddy, I'm not your preacher. We met up in the front seat, on your knees in my blue mini. We did things that I can't believe. Lock it in the spank bank memory. Yeah. If you're looking for salvation, I'll be your lover. I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not your father, but I'll be your daddy. I'm not your preacher. Afraid of some temptation, they call me Jezebel. You're not having fun at all, too concerned with hell. I don't know what happens when I leave this earth. I'm gonna have a good time, get all that it's worth. Don't try to change me, don't try to box me in. I think I need to start my own religion. Get in my bed, get out of your head. You know you just came here to have a little fun. All these fucking haters on my feet try to pull me down, pretending not to see all the love that surrounds me. They wish that they had my life. I'm not ashamed of having good sex, that's my only vice. That's right. I was an angel. I never said I was an angel. Don't know if there's a heaven or hell. I'm not gonna be a sinner wishes to my father. I just wanna be a lover, back a bitch. If you're looking for salvation, I'll be your lover. I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not your father, but I'll be
right now we're going to bring on our next guest. Let's bring her in, Juan, and make sure we can hear and see her. Hello, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Terrific.
Hello.
All right.
I just rocked these because they matched your glasses. I just
okay, perfect.
Right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, how many children do you want to have?
Do I want to have? I have one, and then I have.
Not a romance. No, hang on. We got to introduce her so everybody knows who she is.
Gay men just don't get straight jokes.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, writer, producer, and consulting producer. Elizabeth Johnson. She's also a researcher. You do things that other people we've never had on do, so it'll be fun to talk about a little bit. But Elizabeth Johnson, welcome to the show. This is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host Ron Russell, and we're very happy to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
It'll be a lot of fun. So we have people in the chat room. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello, people.
So now, where are you actually located?
Well, you'll love this since I've been told that you love old Hollywood. I am in Los Angeles at the Disney bungalows that were the original Disney lot. And so they were built in 1927. So I've been living here for 27 years.
Oh, wow.
They're redoing all the electrical, so I've been going back and forth between mine that they've just all fixed up, which we're in the process, and my son is helping me to move back in. So I'm in what I call the resort because it's really, really beautiful. They've done a great job. And it's got that historic. So like behind me, I don't know if you can see, this used to be where they'd have the ironing board.
And it would pop down.
Yeah, and they have shelves now, and I just put all the tchotchkes in there, and
I love Toxic. I have a lot of Toxic, and that's a Toxic Avenger poster, right?
That is. My son just found it and pulled it out because everything's kind of cattywampus. But can you see the whole poster?
Absolutely.
Great.
I love it. So let's talk about Trauma then for a second, since you've got it. I think you were in one of the Trauma films, right? Citizen Toxie?
I was actually in two of them.
Okay.
I was in Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger Part 4, where he's got a dual personality. There's Noxie and Toxie. And one is this like evil twin. So I played, and I brought a picture. I played the reporter. Can you see
there you go.
With Sergeant Kabuki Man, if you're familiar with that character.
I'm actually familiar. So when we started this show, we just found out this show is we've been on the air for 18 years.
Wow.
And in my first year, one of our first 10 guests was Lloyd Kaufman. Because I'm a big movie guy. So we had Lloyd Kaufman on. And now they're getting ready to do a Toxic Avenger live action streaming event, and they just asked me a couple of days ago if I would like to come on as one of the producers of it.
Yeah, Lloyd is I feel like he's this soul heart. He's my spiritual love.
He's hilarious too. He's very funny.
We were doing Trauma. Yeah, he is a true genius, a true original. You should buy and tell everybody about his book, How to Make a Movie. I forget the exact title, but
how to make a movie for no money or something.
No money. Yeah. And I've seen him do interviews where he shows cutting a watermelon and using that as the blood. I remember when in Toxic Avenger we were filming up in Poughkeepsie, and it was just so spontaneous. And he would see people and he'd go, "Come, be in a movie," and he got the whole town. Involved and excited about it. And it was great. We were filming in a school, and then what had been an old mental institution, but a really antiquated hospital. And then I did some events as a Trauma in Santa Barbara conventions for Trauma. And then I was in Tales of the Crapper with James Gunn. Yeah.
James Gunn.
Gunn, yeah, who was one of the great writers of the Tromeo and Juliet.
I didn't know that, because now James Gunn nowadays, he's like the biggest director on the planet.
I know. So Lloyd discovers people. In fact, when I first was there, very interesting, he gave me a bunch of Trauma movies, and Cannibal the Musical was one of them. Are you familiar with Cannibal the Musical?
Yes.
Yeah, so he got to know the South Park guys, and he told me that Trey and Matt had tried to give him South Park, and Lloyd was like, no, we don't want that. So then
I love South Park too, so it's all fun. I think it's
yeah,
fun
they're
around.
that whole
Actually,
spirit and creativity and just being present, and the talent is incredible.
We have a friend, Michael Damian, who used to be a really big soap opera star and a singer. He had a bunch of #1 hits and stuff. But he now makes a lot of movies, and he also knows how to discover talent. Like he's the one who just brought Lindsay Lohan. Didn't work for years in movies, and he brought her back in one of his films, and now she's working all the time. And
I know. I love comeback stories.
He discovered Nicholas Galitzine, who basically did one of his movies about dancing and violin playing. It's like music. It's kind of like a hip hoppy movie. And now Nicholas Galitzine is like the biggest younger star in Hollywood, and he's doing stuff with he just did stuff with and what's her name? The girl from Devil Wears Prada. And I don't know, the biggest people, whoever, he's working with, and he was in the remake of The Craft that they did.
And he has no personality.
But he's a great singer, and
I interviewed him. He's a dead horse.
But your interview got like 800,000 plays.
Yeah, because people wanted to see what he had to say, and he said nothing. He's a jerk.
That was at the beginning. He was bigger. I loved him. I think he's fantastic. So let's go. First of all, I want to know. So you're a writer, and you wrote, and so I want you to explain, how do you write an episode of Sex Sent Me to the ER? Do they have to find people then to have whatever the problem is, to match what you write, or do you write it after you find out what the problem is and then you write it?
Well, no, they assign the issue.
Okay.
And so my favorite was Sex Sent to the Hot Tub episode. And I had a hot tub episode of my own, at many years of Sundance. Yeah, so I really related to that one. They would give you an array and you could pick, okay, I relate to this one. It was really challenging because the science was real. These were real cases. And so they would have all the medical experts, and then I would write, and you'd put it into a format, and you would write the different dialogue of the couple or whatever the incident and the issue was. It was really fun. I liked that. But it was complicated.
I've only seen a couple of those episodes, but they're really fascinating. The problems that people have.
Yeah.
And I think
that one, my favorite one was, they had, it was a couple, and they were visiting the sister's house, and they were like, the sister had said, don't go into the hot tub. And they went and had sex in the hot tub, and the sister had just shocked it. So they had 3rd-degree burns, inside.
Oh,
yeah. And it was really serious. So, it seems funny at first, but then it really got in depth with the science. So.
Oh no, I think it's terrible. It's terrible, but we look at it, huh?
That is terrible.
I know.
Yeah, it was kind of, shocking. Yeah.
I love it. So then, so you've written. I also wrote down. I think I wrote down Split Second Decision on MSNBC News, Style Court, and The Proposal. So you've written for several shows.
Yes, I loved working on the MSNBC show. Now, that show partnered with a supervising producer and documentarian, Adrian Maher. It was the only scripted show that MSNBC went into, because then that year, of course, Trump was free TV, so they canceled that scripted show. But the show itself, I learned so much and so much research about if you're in a harrowing situation, what to do. So we did flash flood. We did an incredible episode on wildfires. My favorite, I really chased down crowd crush and what to do in a crowd crush, and was researching and trying to find.
What is a crowd crush? When somebody's in a crowd,
like when you're
the crush of people.
Yeah, the story that I was really trying to hone down and get the people who were affected and find people who were at the scene was when the woman died at the EDC carnival when it used to be in California, but the incident made it then go to Vegas and they had it again. But a lot of the people they were trying to say that, oh, she overdosed. They didn't, because then the venue would be blamed if they said, oh, she was on drugs. But really, she was crowd crushed. So the crowd started pushing, and she got trampled because she had fallen down. And I mean, I've been afraid of crowds, I eyeball it. We had an expert come in, talk about what to do. You move to the sides. Don't panic. Don't start grabbing people because you can pull them down with you. Because people do get. I was almost crushed at a U2 Public Enemy concert, and I had to be carried over. Because people push and move forward. It's your kind of natural instinct when there's an incident.
I would hate that. I see that in movies. I don't know, like in the movie, there's a great horror movie called Thanksgiving. It came out like 2 years ago. It's an Eli Roth movie. And
I wanted to see
that.
The
whole movie starts where the guy has like a Walmart or whatever, and it's Thanksgiving, and they're not letting the people in, and then everybody gets smashed, and they break the windows to go in and get all the deals, and everybody gets trampled and stuff.
That I think it was based on a true story because I'm sure it's happened several times.
That's just creepy though. Like, I mean, I love the movie; it's a great movie, but like, it's not a way I wouldn't want that to happen. So I think that's a
move to the sides, and if you start to see, because crowds move. This is what we learned from the expert on the show. It moves like in a wave. So start going over to the sides because the pressure all goes in the center. So if you start hugging the sides, that's the better place to be.
We would be in trouble too because we both have bad knees. We both just had knee surgery. So
I heard my son is going through knee issues. How are they now? How are your knees now?
Terrible. How old is your son? How old is your son?
He is 33, and he is actually Roman.
You are so cute. Let me tell you how cute you are.
Oh, so are you.
You remind me of my daughter Leslie. You look a little bit like her, and you have her personality.
Oh, Leslie.
And I'm sure the men go crazy over you.
Oh, I have to fend them off. How do you know? Do tell.
No, seriously, men like women with humor, and you have great humor.
Oh, thank you.
Your face tells a story. You are such an interesting girl and a very pretty one.
Oh, thank you.
So here's the thing with the knees. So I just have bad luck, or I don't know, or a bad body, but I've had 3 knee replacements and a manipulation all in the same knee in 5 years. So I'm always like having problems, and I'm leaving to go to the doctor as soon as the show is over. I was bone on bone. I was better off bone on bone than I am now. But there's nothing I can do. So I'm trying to, make it work the best that it does. He had a full knee replacement 9 weeks ago, and it's just been difficult. But his biggest difficulty is that he can't take the painkillers because they do bad things to him. So he's had to do the whole thing with no painkillers, and so it's been very painful for him. His is going to end up working out really good by the time that he's healed, but he needs another.
That's why I'm twirling. You see me twirling in my chair.
Yeah, because he can't sit in one space very long.
Because my leg, I have to move my leg.
Right.
So I twirl.
But if your son has to have a knee replacement, there's nothing you can do if it's really bad. But if he can hold out, I would recommend holding out.
Well, he's 30. I mean, he's.
He played basketball.
He'll heal quick though because he's young.
They're basketball injuries that keep recurring, and he played at really intensive basketball at Loyola High School, which is a really good sports school. Then he played some at Santa Clara. Then he played in South Africa, and he had a growth spurt when he was younger. Actually, he got rejected from health insurance. I think they thought he had the Abraham Lincoln disease, and they said he had too expansive of a growth spurt. And so what I think maybe happened is some of the platelets, particularly in his ankles, and things hadn't fused because he grew so fast. I actually saw him grow in front of my eyes. Oh, there's yeah.
Does he like Caitlin Clark? I love watching TikTok videos of Caitlin Clark.
I love Caitlin Clark. Do you like Caitlin Clark, Roman? Roman, come here. No, he's shy. Do you like Caitlin Clark is the question. I do. He does.
I love watching her videos on TikTok. I think they're awesome.
I think she's classy. She's smart. She's so talented. Yeah. We're big Warriors fans.
Okay, there you go.
Because we hail from the Bay Area. Then I heard you talking earlier about New York City. Oh, that's our heart home. We lived in the East Village. I went to NYU for grad school, and basically Roman did too. He was raised there. And then
cool. You're smart because that's a good school.
Oh, it was great. Oh, I had classes with Arthur Miller, John Patrick Shanley. I was in the playwriting department. Sam Shepard, A.R. Gurney, Wendy Wasserstein.
How come you didn't stay in New York? Why did you come back to California?
Well, interesting you asked. So I did a solo show based on, I was playing songs out and did the whole like sidewalk cafe scene in the East Village, playing out. And then I started scripting because I was so nervous to talk. So I did a solo show off Broadway, and I did it for 3 years. And then, Roman kept kind of walking up to strange men of color, particularly because he's half Mexican, and said, "Are you my dad? Are you my dad?" And I just thought, I love New York, but I can come back. But Roman needs to be near his dad, who is in California. So, and so they have a good relationship. So for Roman, yeah. And now the irony is his dad is on Broadway, and we're in LA, and he's now in New York. So, I think it's funny. I'm wondering if he's thinking about, the years.
Oh, so we want to give a shout out to Matt Chasen, who set this interview up for us. I love Matt Chasen. He's really one of my favorite people.
I love Matt. We hit it off. He's like soul.
No, he's fabulous. So he wrote me a few little notes. He told me your first credit was playing Monica Lewinsky on the Steve Harvey Show. Is that true?
Yes.
So
Wait, my first what?
It says
my
your
first credit?
TV credit, maybe?
TV credit for sure, but was it my first?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, no. Actually, my first talk show was, I was a recurring extra on Law and Order back in New York, which was really fun. And then I did independent film in New York. And then that was my first one, I think, in LA. I was on, do you ever remember the Perez show?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was on that, and it was a custody battle over the dog. It was a funny segment.
So wait a second, though.
Yeah, so Monica Lewinsky.
So you're on Steve Harvey, which, Steve Harvey is a huge, even today, he's still huge. I have people who want to get on his, they want to get on his radio show. It's something.
Wait, Steve Harvey.
It's like $15,000 for 3 minutes to get on his show.
I think I know him.
Oh, maybe.
Is he the one that was married to JoJo Starbuck?
I have no idea.
Steve Garvey.
No, Garvey.
Harvey.
Not
Garvey.
Steve Garvey's a baseball player. Yeah, that's
and
that.
He was married to JoJo Starbuck.
So what did you have to do, though, with Monica, to play Monica Lewinsky? Did you have to, simulate, a blowjob or something?
No, I know. I thought they'd go further, but it was, it's a sitcom.
Kind of clean.
Yeah, and my friend from NYU, all roads lead to NYU. That has just been it was one of the best times of my life. I really got a lot from it. So one of my grad school friends became a writer on that show, and it was a party scene. So it was just nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and yeah.
That's
so I think it was more glorified. They didn't really want to go too deep in it because then it would have been too deep and controversial.
Yes. Very controversial. So then I read. So my favorite reality show of all time. Well, my first one was the Making the Band of Danity Kane with P. Diddy. I love that.
Yeah,
that was my favorite reality show. But my next favorite reality show was The Simple Life.
Oh, I loved it.
And Nicole Richie, and you did 2 episodes of it playing the hot mom.
Oh, I gotta tell you, okay. So Nicole Richie, Paris, they are wonderful. And so when I came out, because it was a pageant, that episode that started was pageant moms. So it was pageant girls, and I was the mom. So they made the moms do do a pageant show. And when I came out, Nicole Richie said, "Here she comes, Raquel Welch on steroids." And so I felt like, wow, she notices me. Yeah. I loved that show. They were fun.
I love that show. I still like now.
I still like them. Like,
and I like them
Paris
too.
Running around on one of those vacuum cleaner things and her clothes. And then I met her again at Sundance, and we had a great time.
I met her so many years ago. I dressed Elton John. I used to be a clothing designer, and I dressed Elton John, and I was his guest at the concert, and he gave us front row seats. And so next to us was Tara Reid and Paris Hilton. So we got to meet and hang out with them, and she was super nice, and the whole thing was a blast. And now she's really very for herself.
Huh?
She's a mom, and now she's a real famous DJ. And I heard they were going to bring the Simple Life back. I don't know if it was just going to be for like a one show thing or a new series, so they were going to come back where they are now.
They did. I think it was a movie, maybe, or it was
okay.
a one-off kind of thing. But she actually has a memoir out. She's she's a richer character than she's been given credit for.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I really, really appreciated her, loved her. She's beautiful. I mean, when she sang and did that car commercial, "I love Paris in the springtime," and she was on top of the car. It was hilarious. Yeah.
I actually liked it when she did we have that hamburger place here. Now I forgot the name because we don't eat at it.
In-N-Out?
No. There's another one. And anyway, she did the commercial for like how hot and saucy during the Simple Life, the cheeseburgers, and it was Carl Jr. or Carl's or whatever.
Maybe that was the same commercial.
Yeah, maybe it is the same commercial, but it was a great commercial.
I know. I was
absolutely loved it, and I just love the fact that she's
what are we talking about?
Paris Hilton, yeah, she's really made a name for herself now. And I went to this.
My daughter Deirdre knew her well.
Yes, they used to party together.
Deirdre is a beautiful name. Deirdre of the Sorrows.
Yes,
my daughter Deirdre.
So
and she just thought that Hilton was a one-on-one friend. She wasn't a group friend. If she was around a bunch of girls, she was a bitch. But if you got her one-on-one, she was sweet.
Yeah.
So did you like Paris?
I also
and Nicole Richie's is smart as hell.
I have this friend. Her name's Ozzy Aziz. She used to be like a big recording artist. And when we lived in Florida, we went to this thing called the Dance Star USA Awards, and it was when Paris was with Nick Carter. I think she was dating Nick Carter. And that was a long time ago. And so we walked the red carpet with Nick Carter, Carmen Electra, Dave Navarro.
Oh my God, Dave Navarro! I met him so many times and went to because it was like Jane's Addiction, and we would just see each other and go, "Okay, you again." Like we've talked so many times, we've learned each other. We know who we are. Yeah, I love Dave Navarro.
So now you're a singer, also.
Yes, I have I had recorded a lot of songs during the pandemic. And as I said, I was a singer-songwriter in New York City and piano. And they're kind of like Nellie McKay, Kate Bush, Tori Amos-ish, Fiona Apple-ish, theatrical.
I love Kate Bush.
I love Kate Bush.
My all-time favorite song. So,
well, what's your all-time favorite song?
One of my all-time favorite songs is "Running Up That Hill."
Oh, yeah.
Which is a great song. And that's yes. So they actually sent me, they sent me a Christmas song you did, because it's the only thing I guess that you have up on YouTube that I could take as a video. I'm not sure.
Music video, yes, but I have more on Spotify because I'm releasing a song a month. So I have a song.
Okay, so we have to tell people that, but we want to show people the video too. So we're going to play it. So tell us what this is. It's called Under the Mistletoe by Elizabeth Johnson. It's a Christmas song. It's Christmas in June, like on Hallmark.
Yes. Well, okay. Originally, I'm going back to NYU as well. My friend Dave Barenbaum wrote Elf, and they were going to make an Elf 2. So originally, I wrote this song to be in Elf 2, and that never got made. And then I had pitched it to Adam Sandler for 8 Crazy Nights, but it didn't really work in that. So it was on. I went out. I found Sue Houston, this animator, found her on Craigslist. She is incredible. She didn't even see a picture of me. And she's like, "Oh, let me just sketch up something. I love the song. Let me just sketch something up." She was in Boston at the time. And she sent me the sketches, and they looked just like me. And I was like, wow. Then she ended up working on Guardians of the Galaxy and coming movie to LA and doing a lot of great stuff. So it's super talented. And then my friend Yari Schutzer recorded it, and he does the boom, 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 boom. So it's fun. I have a follow-up idea called Under the Camel Toe that I think is funny.
There's a follow-up called Under the Camel Toe.
Yeah, I have it recorded.
That would be a good one, a good parody one.
My story for it is that it's the same Christmas lady character, and she rides on the camel of the three wise men, and she's so it still is Christmas, but she's going to see Jesus. And I have a treatment for a half-hour Christmas special. It was on Adam Films, which was Comedy Central's online. It won awards for 3 years. So I'm trying to have it go viral again. And it really had a great season this last season. So
I love it. All right, you guys. So this is Elizabeth Johnson, you guys. It's Christmas in June on the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. And here's a song that she did called Under the Mistletoe. Enjoy, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The guests are all expected in a minute or two, but I don't care if they never come. The party's me and you. The gifts may get neglected under the Christmas tree, but who needs to unwrap presents? Come and unwrap me. So give me a kiss this Christmas. I've missed you so. Oh, and let's get down to business under the mistletoe. Boom, 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 boom. Santa's stuffed your stocking. He's sneaking up the chimney. He really earned his milk and cookies for bringing you to me. I've always been such a good girl and heeded my mama's advice. I never knew till I met you that naughty could be so nice. So give me a kiss, it's Christmas. It's starting to snow, oh, and let's get down to business under the mistletoe.
Super cute.
Very cute.
It makes me laugh every time. Thank you.
No, it's super duper cute. And I think you should do Under the Camel Toe. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if I can get Sue back, yeah. I wanted this to be a recurring Christmas lady. At one time I had another pitch where she would be like she would adopt children from all over the world, and they would all have different faiths and different celebrations around that time, and a holiday special. Yeah.
It's funny. So you did a movie with Alyssa Dowling. She's a pretty good friend of ours. She moved to Florida, but we used to see her a lot here. Cold Blood Canyon. So we love Alyssa and her.
Now I know Alec, who directed that.
Okay. So you didn't get to meet Alyssa. So like Ron did a movie with Alyssa, and she's in that movie.
What movie?
She was in Clown Fear, is it called? Yeah, she was in Clown Fear, and she's in a bunch of Marcel's movies. And then I don't know what Loveless is in Los Angeles, but I wrote down that Dash Mihawk is in it, and I can't stand him. He's like the one person in Hollywood that I think is like the biggest asshole.
He was so nice. I was in the book club. My friend, again from grad school, he directed it, and so I was just in the book club, one of the book club girls. He directed. He's now working with the Wahlbergs on their shows and doing a lot more reality.
So this, when I met him, it was a long time ago, maybe 25 years ago. It was when he was at his height, where he was like doing he was really in everything big.
I like Dash. He was nice.
You never met him.
I thought he was nice.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't with you when you met him.
Yes, I was.
No, and it was before I met you. It was 25 years ago. I haven't known you for 25 years.
Well, I'm talking about Cash.
Oh, no, that's different. No, that's Cash, yeah. No, I just met him, and he was a dick. He was with Ryan. I was at it was at the Elton John concert. I was Elton John's guest at the Elton John concert, and he was sitting with Ryan Seacrest and somebody else.
I met him at the Playboy Mansion.
Well, they were there, and I just wanted to say hi to Ryan Seacrest. It was a big crowd. We were walking by, and Dash was and Ryan Seacrest was literally like 3 feet away. And Dash stepped in front of me. No, you can't meet him. He doesn't want to meet you. I said, well, let him tell me that. And he said, no, you can't meet him. And I said, Ryan, it's not that big a deal. You only got your job because you're fucking Merv Griffin.
Oh, that went over well, I'm sure.
That didn't go over well. Well, it's a true story. But anyway, but he's a good actor. I just don't like him. But I think that so what do you got coming up? Did you have any big shows coming up or anything that we should tell people about? We have 3 minutes, and we want to put in. Well, we want to make sure tell people to follow you on Instagram. You guys, she's at Sheba Roman.
I'm at Sheba Roman Films, Sheba Roman and Sheba Roman Films, and Shir Sheba Music, SHIR, which means song in Hebrew, and then Sheba. My nickname in college was Beth Sheba, that I gave to myself because she danced naked in front of David and in front of the fountain. So Shir Sheba Music is my Instagram. So then I'm posting. I just had a song come out, Happy Hour Horror, on Spotify. So I've been in talks with the director to do a music video of that.
What's it under? So on Spotify, what are you under?
Elizabeth Johnson.
Okay, so you guys go to subscribe to her Spotify. Go to Elizabeth Johnson, listen to her songs. Remember, independent artists, you got to stream a bunch of times, so just hit that baby on repeat.
Oh, thank you. I'm waving this wonderful flag. My friend Sergio Libido and I, this fan is helping us a million degrees, but we walked in the WeHo parade last week for LA Opera. And
good for you.
They gave us this, and I got to sing to the crowds, and I was wearing the Broomhilda horns and getting cheers. It was a blast.
You actually sing opera also, or how are you affiliated?
Musicals, more musicals.
Okay.
No, because he's in the opera, but
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But
musicals, but yeah. And I've sung in choirs my whole life and been in musicals pretty much my whole life. So we can talk. And you and I need to talk next time about costumes. My mother was a costume designer, and I grew up backstage. How this all began,
So who are some of the fun people that you got to see get your mom costume? Anybody fun?
Well, she did theater, and when theater was a thriving scene, she went to grad school with the likes of Kirkwood Smith, who was on that 70s show, Luis Valdez, Marty Ferrer. So when they were funding theater, she was in the thick of it, theater. Yeah, and she did.
You're in an all entertainment family. You're in an all entertainment family. Your husband's on.
Well, no, my dad was, as they say at Stanford, fuzzy techie. So my mom was the fuzzy, and my dad was the engineer. So he was the solid one. And he would go, oh, this is crazy. And he would just sit here, and we would just put costumes on him, and he'd go, oh no, wah, wah, wah. And it was very funny.
I love it. So you guys, please follow Elizabeth Johnson on Spotify.
Yeah.
Follow her different Instagrams. One of them is She Barrowman. What's the other one? She Barrowman Music or Films? I forgot already.
Sheba Roman Films.
Sheba Roman Films. Okay, oh, that's why it says right there. All right, so we want to thank you for coming on the show. We want to thank Matt Chasen. Good luck with everything. We'll see you soon. And I'm sure we'll see you in Hollywood
pleasure.
someplace.
You entertained me. You made me feel good.
Thank you. Yes, I have to say one last thing. I was in several car accidents, and I have fibromyalgia, and I applaud you for facing the pain, the physical pain, because I have pain all over my body. I know how hard that is, and what a journey, a spiritual, metal that it takes to work through that without the drugs. So keep stretching, go into the pool if you can. I really applaud you both for getting through your knees. That's not easy.
Thank you so much. So we'll see you soon. And we'll
Okay,
see you
great. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you
Bye.
next week. See ya.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah, this is MC Alfred. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfred, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out.